Today's video is going to cover something very interesting which was in Arc 3 of the light novel but was actually removed for the Season 1 anime, and it involves an interaction between Priscilla and Subaru. Of course, many of you will remember in Season 1 when Emilia and Subaru go to the royal capital. This is actually where we first meet Aldebaran, Priscilla, and even Julius. However, there's an interesting interaction which happens in the alleyway. Of course, this is the alleyway in which Subaru meets Priscilla and the three thugs, and Subaru then of course attempts to save her. However, in the anime this is cut down significantly, with Emilia and Aldebaran showing up pretty quickly. However, in the light novel it's totally different, in which Priscilla is really infatuated with Subaru's Appas. And as you remember, Subaru bought 10 Appas from Kadaman and he had them with him. And you can remember that Priscilla asked what they were because to her Appas were white rather than red. In the light novel, Priscilla actually has a bet with Subaru and they were going to play rock, paper, scissors over the 10 Appas that Subaru possessed, and the winner would get an Appa. And in return, if Subaru wins, he would be allowed to fondle Priscilla's breasts. And no, I'm not making this up, this is actually in the light novel, I'll show you on screen right now. So of course Subaru, an alpha character, he agrees. And as you can imagine, Subaru plays rock, paper, scissors with Priscilla and he loses 7 times out of 10. And of course he's losing hope. However, he plays 2 more games and he loses another 2 times, so he only has 1 Appa left. And of course, they do an all or nothing bet, so essentially, whoever wins the last Appa wins everything else. And Subaru, of course, goes in for the rock, paper, scissors match again, but this time he cheats. Instead of saying rock, paper, or scissors, he just uses a combination of all 3 at the same time, and he says it's like an ultimate technique. Of course, Priscilla doesn't really know better and she actually accepts that she lost and she gives Subaru all 10 of the Appas. And of course, she states that Subaru won, therefore he has a right to fondle her. And of course, as Subaru starts to man up and Priscilla actually berates him and tells him to act more like a man, he actually goes in to touch her breasts. But as you can imagine, that's when they get interrupted and of course nothing ever comes out of it. And of course later on when Priscilla meets Subaru again, Priscilla has actually forgotten who Subaru is. So of course this plot thread never actually goes anywhere, but I do think it's a funny interaction which was cut out of the anime, and it sort of gives another dimension to Priscilla and that she is kind of naive in some ways. But thank you for watching and hopefully you found it a bit funny.